All right, so now we finna talk about GloRilla.
Oh
Um,
no.
GloRilla, GloRilla. She's another one of these ratchet female rappers. You know, uh, I I feel like she's a dime a dozen. She sounds exactly like the rest of these female rappers and talks about the same stuff. But she had a PSA for all of the ladies out there who try to find love in the club. So we are going to react to her PSA because she's so insightful, this GloRilla. We're going to react to her PSA after we watch this clip. Oh,
I just gotta say this. I just gotta say this. If you trust a that you met at the club, you was a hot ass mess and a goddamn fool, and you don't got no motherfucking home training. Cause bitch, why the fuck could you sit up here falling in love with a that you know you met at a place where he looking for hoes at? Bitch, you looking for hoes. He finna treat you like a motherfucking hoe, bitch. Why the fuck could you send your dumb ass right here falling in love? Stay woke. Stay the fuck woke.
yeah.
Wow. GloRilla. Now I gotta look into that. All right, I gotta see what's the naming of that about.
What do you mean?
I mean, yes, close to gorilla, but
Oh,
why you
oh,
why,
oh,
why
oh.
you want
I
to be
think, I
close to
think, I
gorilla?
think, I think she's just playing on Gorilla, and then the glow part is like
I
glow
know,
up.
no, I know that, but
Yeah, yeah,
gorilla, like she talking about killing people, like that's why I said, is
yeah.
she like NBA young boy of this, or is she just talking about gorilla style clapping her ass?
I think it's just. I think you're giving her too much credit. I don't think that there's. I don't think. I don't
What's
really think
going
she thought
on?
it that far. I don't really think she put that much thought into it. I think she was just like, glow up. Ooh, gorilla, glorilla. I really don't think it's that deep. I don't.
Oh
Because
man.
I've not heard many of her songs, but the songs that I have heard that are on the radio, which is buffoonery, is you know, the FREEF,
Oh, it's
N
her. That's
E,
her.
and yeah, that's her. And
Okay.
and then the song with Cardi B, and so yeah, she's just talking about, you know, um, you know,
Gorillaing it up.
yeah, yeah, yeah. She's just talking about, extracting men for resources and using them and getting rid of them and taking another woman's man and check your
Uh,
man because I smashed last night. Da 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 da. So there's nothing complex about her. I'm not giving her that much credit. But I don't. Also, I thought it was real funny that she said "stay woke." Usually, when somebody says "stay woke," they're talking about other more deeper, serious topics. And so I thought that was funny too. That she was like "stay woke" talking about something like this. But what were your thoughts on GloRilla's PSA? Finding
well,
love in the club.
you got so you got to see, right? Because I didn't know who Glorilla was until our little back and forth right there. But there's people out there that do know who this woman is,
Oh
and
yeah,
I would
intimately.
argue her fans weren't woke to that yet. So she was putting her people up on game. She knows her brand, and she knows who comes to her shows, and she knows who's in her comment section and who downloads her music. And they be looking for the baller guy in the club, right? So because who else is going to trick off like that? Not a air quote good guy. So it's going to be a bad boy at the club. He's tricking off. He's at the club. He's looking for booty shakers, girls from rap videos, girls from pornography. And if they fit the bill, well, like he said, he's going to treat them like the hoe that they're displaying themselves as. So while he's dealing with you, most likely he's going to keep going to clubs and keep trying to, skeet off on random pornography rap type girls. So her fan base may not have thought that far outside of the box. And then she's like, hey, listen, ladies, newsflash, wake up. Those guys at the club are bad boys. But I would also argue if they listen to GloRilla as much as they may have, then they might be in the same boat as that last girl that we were talking about. And then a good guy, well, she's going to be scared of that too, because he doesn't know how to get her in line. So we got ourselves here a conundrum, sir, where women are saying on one side, hey, don't deal with the bad guys. But those same women that listen to those songs promoting that same type of foolishness will go talk to an air quote good guy. He just not cutting it. He just ain't slamming them up against that table hard enough. Or not at all. So how do you feel about this one, sir? This is a wild topic.
I think that we are actually on the opposite ends on this.
Okay.
I don't know who she was talking to.
Okay.
That when I watched it, I was confused. I don't know who that message is for.
Mm-hmm.
Who and when I say you and I are on opposite ends, what I'm meaning is the recipients of her message is what I'm referring to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who that was. I don't know who that's for. I find it hard to believe, first of all, okay, based on the limited amount of music that I have heard from her, she is the girl who goes to the club to get with. She does the club. She does the club ecosystem stuff. So she's in the club. Already, she already knows she's in the club, and her capacity in this place is, for lack of a better way to explain it, a woman of the night. She's not looking for love from nobody. Listen to her songs. She's all about, hey, if you want this, you're gonna have to pay for it. My vagina is worth this much money. She's like she's another one of these female modern rappers who are, masquerading as hip hop stars, but are in actuality modern day sex workers. Don't take my word for it. Listen to her songs. I'm not making this up. She says it. So, she's talking about, she takes other dudes, other chicks, men, and she knows that you're married to this guy, or that this is your man, but he in the club, and so he tried to holler at me. You need to check your man, and I let him smash and did this and did that, or we did this, and this is the price, and that's her music.
Mm-hmm.
I find it hard to believe that a chick who peddles that kind of stuff would ever be confused as to whether she should be looking for love in the club. Furthermore, I find it hard to believe that anyone who is a fan of hers would also be confused as to whether the club is a place in which I should be looking for love. So it begs the question, who is that message for? Is she perhaps experiencing, as you expressed it, a conundrum? I don't think so. She ain't that complex of a person. She ain't that deep. Maybe she'll experience that conundrum once she's past her physical prime and realizes that her options are dwindling right before her very eyes. But I think in the moment, while she hot and she got all of these number one singles and she's exhibiting, she looks the part. She talks it. She has the tattoos. I don't know what her body looks like, but I'm imagining she has the body for it too. She ain't worried about none of that stuff right now. And nor does she have to, because she's extracting everything that she needs out of the game while she can. So I'm really just confused. I don't know who the message is for. Like, I don't think there are any women who are looking for love who listen to GloRilla in excessive amounts. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But I don't know too many chicks personally. All of the women who I've met and who I know still, who are of the variety of I like a romance and to fall in love with a man, not too much GloRilla on their Spotify playlists. Maybe that's a limited sample size that I'm operating from, but I ain't seen that. So I just don't know who this message is for. She's one of those women. Back when we used to do the club thing, We would go to the when we was in in the younger days in the 20s, and we was going to the clubs and all of that kind of stuff. It's 3, sometimes 4 damn days a week, at the peak of it. She is one of those women who we saw every time.
Yeah.
Every time. It didn't matter if Friday night she was at the club to go on Friday night, Saturday night she was at the club to go on Saturday night, Sunday she was at all of the nightcaps, she was at all of the homecoming parties, she was at all of the frat club parties, those venues. She was at all of this stuff, all of it. FAMU set Friday afternoon. She was there on the scene every time, didn't miss a beat, never missed a day. She's one of those chicks. And every time you saw her, you never saw a man with her. You didn't. Maybe every once in again, maybe every once in a while you saw a sponsor. So maybe when we went to the club, she'd be in there and there'd be some dude who was sponsoring her, buying her drinks. Maybe she'd give him his number. Maybe they leave together. But sure enough, the following week, she was in the club again, doing the same thing. She's one of those chicks. Those women don't look for love in the club, not because they look for love elsewhere, but because they are soulless and devoid of the capacity for such things, at least right now. So I don't know who she's talking to. Who are you talking to, GloRilla? Further context is required. Please qualify your statements. I want to know who you're talking to. Maybe she considers herself a spokesperson on behalf of all women, not just ratchet chicks who like going to the club 4 nights a week and are going to make sure that they are in the strip club every other week, or always at NBA All-Star Weekend, or whatever city the Super Bowl's in, they're going to all of those parties and stuff like that. You know, live on Sundays, King of Diamonds Mondays, even though King of Diamonds ain't around no more. Maybe she believes that she is a spokesperson for all women and not just those women. And those women would primarily be her fans, I would imagine. But if that isn't the case, I want to know who the hell she's talking to, because I'm confused. These chicks aren't looking for love. Again, it's not because they believe that they are in deserve. It's not because they believe they deserve love and are just looking for it elsewhere and they know better than to do so in the club. They're just soulless and they're devoid of the capacity for love right now. So they're going to do what they do. They're going to inhabit their spaces. They're going to be in the clubs and they're going to be in all of those parties, and they're going to do it routinely every week. It's a mechanical function of theirs. And they're not looking for love. They're looking for sponsorship and attention and clout. And they're going to get all three because there's enough men who inhabit those spaces who are willing to give it to them. And they're going to rotate them like a carousel. They're going to share them. And no woman who is in favor of being put on a carousel cares about looking for love in the club or otherwise. So I just don't know who the hell she's talking to.
So here's what I'm saying, and here's what I think she's saying. So are they looking for overt love in the club? No. But they're looking for somebody to cake up with and chill with all the time. That they are. Then once they get themselves in a situationship with a guy from the club, they end up falling in love with a guy from the club. But then the guy from the club treats them like a whore, like she says, and he does her wrong or something like that. Newsflash, girls, you've tried to find love in the club. So treat the guys at the club as the guys from the club. Don't take these guys from the club home. That's more or less her message, I would say. So it's not overt, I'm looking for love. Don't fall in love with a guy from the club. That's more or less the message I think she's trying to deliver. Okay. And so, and even then, I would say that, because I don't even know who this person was until you sent this today, and then until you said the song that she said. So this was out there in the ethos without me touching it. So, but the girls that's on her feed and on her timeline, they will see this, and she is talking to her constituency, and these people out there are going, "Damn, she right. She right." Because that last dude I was dealing with, that I got all caked up with, he was no good, and he was from the club. I thought he was like different. And here's the thing, just like we said in the last conversation, and I said in previous, all women of the evening want a man. They do. Now, in a polyamorous or one-on-one situation, who knows? I don't know. But everybody wants love. But not everybody knows how to acquire. And even if they acquired it, everybody don't know how to keep it. So especially if they're in a broken down ratchet category, like fans. Now, mind you, if you're a GloRilla fan right now, I'm not calling you ratchet or broken, but I will ask you to look in the mirror right quick. All right. Yeah. And then so if that's where your lane is at, there's still something in there that wants and longs for what I call normality, and normality meaning balance in their life. Because just starting it out, having sex and then getting up and leaving, or him getting up and leaving without any actual cuddling, not actually talking or nothing like that, it feels weird and nobody likes it. And nobody likes it. So there's people out there that can fake the funk in public, but they cry when they're at home in the mirror because they see they'll go out and they'll see the man and the woman walking down with a kid and they look like they happy together. And I don't see nobody that sees that and go, they out their damn mind. Whenever people see that, they go, oh man, hey, keep it up. Oh man, wish I had me some of that. And everybody that's out there living the whore game does that. So then they try to find love wherever they can find it. But if they spending all their time at the set on Friday, they at the club every other time or whatever, they got somebody they like going to the most. There's one guy that's always hitting it. She's hitting other guys too, but there's one consistent dude that's always hitting. She love him. Don't fall in love with him. Where'd you meet him, girl? The club. So the thing is that this whole ratchet lifestyle, it's a facade, and these are hurt people in there. And the times that I will go to the club sober, those were the wildest moments for me. I did not fit in there. I had to be out of my mind on something. So I had to be drinking or something, under the influence in order for me to have a good time amongst all of that shenanigery. And most people in there, the clubs that I used to go to, were in the same boat. So if you drink you binge drinking 2-3 times a week, there's something going on there. And so they come to these places to congregate, and by default, you meet somebody. By default, you end up talking to them a little too longer than you're supposed to. Then air quotes, you air quote fell in love. So I don't think people go there and say, I'm gonna find my wife. I think people just go in there and try to find themselves a little situation. And situations go on a little too long sometimes because that person's cool. Then you end up falling in love with somebody you met from the club. So
I don't disagree. Yeah. I don't disagree with a single thing that you said. I just wonder if that's what she was saying.
I think so.
Okay, because there's a difference between saying don't go to the club, meet somebody, and fall in love with them, and don't go to the club looking for love. There's a difference between those two things.
That's fair.
And I think there's a I don't know which one. I don't know. I don't know which one she was saying. So if what she was saying was don't go to the club, meet somebody, and then fall for that trap of letting them, get you to where you don't fell in love, then I'm willing to concede that first of all, there's nothing that you're saying is incorrect, but whether that's what she meant is what I'm challenging. I don't know. But I'm willing to concede if that's the case, because that's fine. We all do what we do and go where we go for reasons. And so I'm not necessarily faulting people, women or men, who like going to the club a lot. I would say that if you are the type of person who is looking for functionality and non-toxicity, going to the club is probably not the right idea. But if you're going to these places to, let loose but have zero expectations, then obviously I don't, that it is what it is, because we all have our various vices in different ways and all that kind of stuff. I just feel like there's a possibility that what she was trying to say was, we all out here looking for somebody, so don't go to the club looking for that because you ain't gonna find it.
Right.
Well, that's kind of oxymoronic coming from an individual who creates the kind of content that you create. And so that's why it kind of became a bit confusing for me. I just, but that's why conversations like this are so interesting, and why it would be nice if, at some point maybe she would further clarify what she meant, because I don't know which is which, but I'm willing to entertain both notions. I just don't buy this idea that the women, what I don't buy is the idea that women who are in search of that uh, are in need of such a message, and that her fans who are in need of such a message don't care, because they're going there for an express purpose, which isn't to find love, but to get whatever else they get out of it. I think these days a lot of women are just kind of becoming resource extractors and man eaters, and so there might be a part of them that is in search of balance. And yes, every woman does want a man. That's 100% correct. But in lieu of the ultimate goal, they're going to go to the club in order to exact their man eating tendencies and to be a resource extractor. And I feel like that's what a lot of women who do this on a regular basis go for. And so the message falls on deaf ears, because that wasn't the intent upon which they went there in the first place. Now, if you do go there and it just so happens that you run up on the baller or the athlete or the entertainer, and you end up, falling for them and falling for the okey doke, then sure, the message would apply. But otherwise, I kind of feel like some of it requires more, more context. I guess is what I'm saying. And like these chicks, you know, going back to the example that I brought up about women being in the club all the time. I saw it for years firsthand. We all did. We were there. Like, how many times every weekend did we see the same chicks in the club on the same nights, multiple nights a week? And every time we would look at them, either ignore every guy who approached them, or if it was the right kind of club guy that they were looking for who came along, they might seem like they were hitting it off, but the next week they were in there again without that dude. So I don't even know how much caking up they're looking for, unless they're, unless it's a 1 week rental cake up. Because if you were really trying to cake up, I don't think you'd be in there again on the same nights the following week. So that's what I'm saying is, it depends on your motivation and the reason why you're going. And from GloRilla's standpoint, it depends on what she meant. So this was actually an interesting thing that came out of this one, because I would like to know what she meant specifically.
And
You
so here's my thing
yeah,
with those girls, right? So for thoughts, bro, what they you're not gonna stop a thought from going to the club, period. So she'll have a stable guy that she smashes, period. Now, is that regular? Like, is she gonna spend Friday night with him caked up? No. When she leaves the club, that's why she don't leave the club with all those guys. She's looking for something else, but there's a guy at the house that's waiting.
sure.
And so in those situations, that's the guy that she likes or loves or whatever. But she's looking for something else to replace. But at the same time, also just looking for the attention and validation that she gets from going out so many times.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
even if she gets caked up, you're not going to see her have a traditional boyfriend. That you're not going to see that level of caked up. So, but every thought has her thought boyfriend, and he's most likely a thought, and he's okay with her going to the club all the time. And it's not because he's a simp at the house. He's probably doing his thought in somewhere else. He's at another club. So there's a whole thought network that's going on out there that traditional people don't get involved in. But there's a whole
Right.
underworld. Yeah, there's a whole underworld lifestyle going on out there. And those girls that we saw doing that were doing that. That's what I would
No, for
argue.
sure. They
Mhm.
100%, they were 100% doing that. I think what I'm ultimately coming at it from is they were 100% doing that, and in my opinion, they were also at the time. So
Mhm.
everyone can change and grow and evolve and become different and gain new and different perspectives. But at the time, those were women who were devoid of the capacity for love. They
Actual
did not.
love, real love.
Yes,
Yes,
yeah.
no.
But
Yeah, I agree
okay,
with
but
that.
GloRilla is speaking on actual love.
See,
That's what
that's the
she's
thing.
speaking on.
So that's the
I
thing.
think she. That's what I think somewhere. Look, I think somewhere in her mind,
Mhm.
what she's speaking on is actual love. It's just her interpretation of the pursuit of it has become twisted into this weird type scenario in which you look for it in all places, club included. And what she's saying is dial it back from the club because you're not going to find the actual genuine love there. That's what
I
I think she. That's where I think she's coming at it from. But I don't know how receptive the message is because the people who need to hear it the most, her fans and her included, in all likelihood, are still going to do what they do. And at this moment in time, I don't necessarily think that's something that's on their radar anyway. They're not walking around saying, "Where can I find love right now?" or at any point.
I get
That's
it.
why they go to these places all the time
I get what you're saying.
because they're just trying to do their thing.
And I would say that she's incapable in talking about the kind of love that you think she's talking about. She's incapable even processing that. And so she's similar to the girl in the last video where she was talking about good. Well, what's your definition of good? So her
Right,
talking about love. Well, what's your definition of love? And
right,
so you are talking about the more traditional, real, factual love. Absolutely. What is she talking about? I wouldn't want to
right,
get love advice from her. So the real kind.
right,
But
right, right,
if she's talking about just street love, just love, then she's talking about what I was referring to, more of the situational ship, getting your feelings involved.
hmm
That's what she's talking. That's what I think she's talking about, not
Yeah,
real hardcore family marriage wife
I got
stuff.
you. I
Yeah.
got you. And perhaps you're right. Perhaps you're right. But again, this also takes me back to the last topic where I said, your words matter and
Hmm.
how you qualify your statements matter. So yeah, I'm willing to concede that if that's the case, I just don't know which one of them she meant, because bro, I'm telling you, these days, it doesn't like the sentiment is kind of the final resolution. So even
Hmm.
if I believe, even when I hear the word love and I'm thinking one thing, and GloRilla or someone else hears the word love and she thinking something else, the sentiment is to you as an individual, what does love mean to you? This thing that you're seeking. Um, I feel like even it's interesting. I wonder which one of those she meant. But yeah,
Yeah.
in terms of the
Me
club
too. Now.
dynamic, yeah, in terms of the club, in terms but I'm just saying, based on her music and her lyrics, and then she used the word love, and then she's talking about the club. Interesting stuff there. I just wonder which one of those she meant. Um, Maybe now I'll pay attention to her a little more when she says things, not her music, because I think her music is trash. But maybe I'll pay attention to her more when she talks and see if I can get a deeper glimpse into how she actually thinks about stuff like this. Because I kind of feel like she's just a club girl, I kind of feel like she's just a club chick, an attention seeker,
Yeah.
and when you do that kind of stuff, and you do the whole situationship and falling off with dudes from the club, it's hard for me to reconcile the idea of love with that. But I, but I understand what you're saying and what she might
Yeah.
mean by
That's
love. So
love
I
in the
get it.
thought
Yeah,
universe.
no, I get it. Yeah, I get it. I get it. I get it. And I completely understand that. But who is your message for? That's what I wonder. Who is she talking to?
Yeah, who you talking to, Glorilla?
Yeah.
Add us at Conscious Approach and let us know what's going on with your next spill, because we would like to know.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. Now she put out a single and and it's a love ballad, you know, Maybe that'll answer our question. Who knows?
if she want that real bag, she better do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She want that real bag.
Yeah, we'll see. But good luck to you, GloRilla. That was good content. That was a good video.
Yeah,
And
and
so
I was just joking about all that other stuff, man. I'm kind of a comedian too, so it's all part of the act. So GloRilla fans and GloRilla herself, man, y'all do y'all thing out
all right, yeah, sure. I'll let you have that.
there.
Um, and on that note, man, we're gonna go ahead and close this week's video out, man. That was a lot of fun. That was good stuff. As usual, I always like to say, man, subscribe to the channel so you can get the notification when all new content is published to this channel. We do this every week. Specifically, we record these videos every Tuesday. We post the video segments throughout the week. So if you're watching this on stream or if you're watching the video segments, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel because we have more content like this all throughout the channel. Click on some of the older videos. We bring heat like this all the time. As I said before, my name is JV Wins. You can find me on Instagram at JV Wins, JVWINS. You can also find Conscious Approach on the Facebook or the Meta as well. Just search Conscious Approach. Subscribe to the page, like the page, and also share the videos. Comment wherever you see these videos because we do pay attention to comments. We do respond. I know I do. So always pay attention to always comment where you see these videos, share, like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Check out the website, constantapproach.com. Even if you're watching these videos via upload on Instagram, comment there. We pay attention to that. And if it brings you back to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, man. You won't feel as though that click was a waste of your time. We certainly appreciate you supporting logical content, and we look forward to having you once again on the next video.
And the name is Dogon SS, and you can find me on Instagram at Dogon_SS and on YouTube at Dogon SS. Also, I'm on DraftKings at Dogon_SS. Come over and get slaughtered. All right. And as I always say on every pod, everybody, all right, don't be too high, don't be too low. Keep it calm, keep it chill, keep it player, keep it even kill, man. And don't let anybody get you off your pivot, especially you, good guys. Don't turn to the dark side. Don't fall for the propaganda. Y'all 10 toes down, stay 10 toes down. And until the next time, fellas, we're out of here.
Yeah. We're going to see y'all later, man. Subscribe to the channel. 1K subscribers. That's the current goal. We're trying to hit 1K subscribers.
1K.
So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, man. Help us get to 1K, man. We are growing this thing out. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and close out. We'll see you on the next video. Peace.
Peace.
GloRilla, holla at us.
Yeah, man.
Holla at us.